Hi guys, welcome back. It's math time. So I want you to turn to page 715. We're going to describe sides of polygons. All right, so while you are looking for page 715, let's go over polygons, okay? Remember, a polygon has to be closed and it has to have line segments, okay? So it has to be a closed shape and it has to have line segments. So, is that a polygon? Yes, it's closed and it has line segments. What if I draw this? Is that a polygon? No, it's closed, but it doesn't have line segments. We have a curve, okay? Curvy lines are not part of a polygon. They have to have line segments, okay? And it has to be closed. Okay, it can have lots of line segments, but if it's not closed, it's not a polygon. So it has to be closed and it has to have line segments, okay? So that's just our little quick review of polygons. Today we're going to talk about the sides of polygons, okay? Now, yes, we talked about different types of polygons. If you look at page 710, okay, you have your triangle, your quadrilaterals, your hexagon, your pentagon, your decagon, your octagon. Okay, that just depends on how many sides there are. We're going to actually just talk about the sides. Okay, so we could have three types of lines. Okay, all right. So if you look there on page 715, let's talk about the types of lines you can have in a polygon. The first type are lines that cross or meet our intersecting lines. So intersecting lines form angles. So intersecting lines, okay, we have lines that meet, okay, they cross each other. Intersecting lines, they intersect. Okay, so this is intersecting, this is intersecting, intersecting, as long as they intersect or meet. Okay, so if you look there, on the right, the orange and blue line segments meet and form an angle, so they are intersecting, okay? So they can bypass each other like this, or they can meet. They are intersecting, as long as they're forming some kind of angle. Could be like this, could be like this, oop, there you go, this, could be like this, okay? As long as there's an angle and they're intersecting, okay? All right, they're meeting or intersecting. Because if they meet, they can still intersect because they're going to, if they extend further, okay, they're intersecting. All right, so as long as they intersect or meet, they are intersecting lines, okay? All right, the second type of line we can have is a perpendicular line. Intersecting lines that cross or meet to form right angles are perpendicular. So they form a T. All right, perpendicular. All right, so they can look like this or they can look like this as long as there's a right angle. Remember, we talked about right angles. Okay, right angle. They are perpendicular. Okay, so if you look there, they formed a T there and you see the right angle. That means it's perpendicular. Now, over here, the red and blue line segments meet to form a right angle, so they are perpendicular. Now, these perpendicular lines are also intersecting too, okay? So a perpendicular line is also an intersecting line, okay? We just name it a perpendicular because it has 90-degree angles. It forms a right angle. If it forms a right angle, it's perpendicular, okay? All right. And then the third type of line that we're going to talk about are parallel lines. Lines that never cross or meet are always the same distance apart are perpendicular lines. They do not form any angles. So this is perpendicular. Okay, if these lines were to go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, they would never meet or cross. Okay, parallel. Parallel lines never meet. They go on and on and on and on and on and on forever, but they never ever will meet or cross over. So parallel lines. Okay, on the right, The green and blue line segments would never cross or meet. They are always the same distance apart, so they are to be parallel. Okay, so they are parallel. All right, are you ready? Intersecting, do this. Perpendicular, that means I have right angles. Parallel. Intersecting, perpendicular, parallel. Okay, so intersecting, perpendicular, mean I have a cross, okay, a T, a cross, however you want to say it. I have 90-degree angles, parallel. All right, let's turn the page and try some of these out. Number 1, okay, says which sides appear to be parallel? Well, look at this shape here, okay. So they have the shape of a rectangle. So if I draw a rectangle and I put my letters here, we have C here, we have a B, we have an A, and we have a D. Okay, so here's my shape. It wants to know which lines are parallel. Remember, parallel never, ever, 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 ever meet. So this line and this line, if they were to extend forever and ever and ever, would they meet? No. Okay, so they are parallel. So B and D are parallel. Now let's look. Is there another set of lines that are parallel? Look at C and A. Are C and A parallel? Yeah, so there's 2 sets. B and D, C and A. Okay, so on the line, write B and D. Okay, because B and D are both parallel. They will never, ever, ever, ever meet if they extend. C and A, B and D. So there's actually 2 sets of sides that are parallel. All right, let's look at the next section. It says, look at the green sides. We only care about the green sides of this polygon. Tell if they appear to be intersecting, perpendicular, or parallel. Write all the words that describe the sides. All right, so in number 2, we have this line here is green, and this line here is green. So if I look at those green lines, are they intersecting? If they extend forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, will they ever touch? No. So they are not intersecting. And of course, if they never touch, they can't be perpendicular either. So these 2 green lines are parallel. So write parallel on the line. Okay. So they're going like this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and never touching. They're parallel. All right, look at the green lines on the triangle in number 3. So this line and this line. Are they parallel? No, because they're touching, right? They cannot be parallel if they touch. So they can't be parallel. Let's look. Are they intersecting? Yes, they're intersecting. Okay, so they're kind of going like this. They're intersecting. Now, are they perpendicular? Remember, perpendicular means a 90-degree, means right angle. Are they forming a right angle? No, these lines, these sides are only intersecting. If it was a 90-degree, a right angle, then they would be perpendicular, but they're not. Okay, this is an acute angle, right? Remember our angles. This is acute. Okay, so intersecting is the only thing you can write for number 3. All right, number 4 is this line. This is the green line, and this is the green line. So look at number 4. It looks like this. Okay, let's look at our types of lines. Are they parallel? No, they're already touching, right? Can't be parallel. Are they intersecting? Yeah, they're intersecting, right? They're meeting and they're forming an angle. So intersecting is 1. Let's look at perpendicular. Are they perpendicular? Do they form a right angle? Yes, they do. This one is 2. Intersecting and perpendicular. Okay. So if you have an angle that's perpendicular, it is also intersecting. Okay, because remember, intersecting means to meet or cross over. Okay, so meet or cross over. All right, perpendicular means that it meets and crosses over, but it also has a right angle. So intersecting and perpendicular for number 4. All right, let's look at 5, 6, and 7. Look at the green sides of the polygon. Tell if they appear to be intersecting, perpendicular, or parallel. Write all the words that describe the sides. All right, I want you to do 5, 6, and 7 by yourself. So pause the video and do 5, 6, and 7. All right, let's look at number 5. Okay, the green lines are this one and this one. So they look like this. What kind of lines are they? Parallel and only parallel. Okay, parallels by itself. Okay, it never, ever, 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 ever touches. Okay, all right, number 6, we have this line and this line. All right, so this is what you see. Okay, let's look at our lines. Can they be parallel? Nope, they touch, right? Can they be perpendicular? Yeah, they form a 90 degree. It's a right angle. So perpendicular and, of course, intersecting because they're intersecting. Okay, they're touching, they're meeting, they're going past, they can go through, right? Okay, intersecting. So number 6 should be intersecting and perpendicular. All right, and number 7 is these two lines right here. So number 7 kind of looks like this. Sort of, yeah. All right, so parallel, nope. Perpendicular, do they form a 90 degree angle? No, only intersecting. So these lines are only intersecting, okay? So just intersecting. All right, let's look at the next page. Page 717. All right, Chelsea wants to sort pattern blocks by the types of sides. Now, here are her pattern blocks. Now, if we were in school, we'd be actually using these, but we're not in school, so we can't use these. So let's take a look. This might be a little bit harder than it is if you're at school. Which blocks have intersecting sides? Look at those blocks. Well, let's take a look at A. Do you see intersecting lines in A? Yep. How about B? Are they intersecting? Mm-hmm. C? Mm-hmm. D? Mm-hmm. E? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you look at all of those shapes, they're intersecting. Okay, to form a polygon, you have to have intersecting lines. They have to meet at some point. Okay, now you may think, well, how did we get parallel lines? Well, we got parallel lines on these guys because they were only talking about 2 specific lines. Okay, if you talk about all of the lines together, they're all intersecting. But these guys, they were only pinpointing the green ones. So you only had to look at how the green lines were related. And these are parallel, okay? When you look at the whole shape, which is what they're doing right now, then they're telling you, you're saying that they all have intersecting sides because they do, all right? So all of them, A, B, C, D, and E. All right, number 9, which blocks have parallel sides? Now, look at the blocks and see if any sides are parallel. So if I look at A, do I have any parallel lines? Just look at 2 opposite sides. So if I look at A, if I look at this line and this line, are they parallel? Yeah, okay. When you're talking parallel, you can only look at 2 sides. How about this side and this side? Are they parallel? Yeah, A has parallel sides, so put A for number 9. Let's look at B. Does B have parallel sides? How about C? Yeah, here's a parallel with this one, and then this line is parallel with this line. So far we have A and C. How about D? Does D have parallel sides? Yeah, right here and right here. So D goes there as well. How about E? Yeah, it's a square. It does have parallel sides. Okay, so you should have A, C, D, and E for number 9. Number 10, which blocks have perpendicular sides? That means right angles. So look there and see if there are any that have right angles. Does A have any right angles? Nope. How about B? C? I don't see any right angles there. How about D? Nope. I see acute and I see obtuse angles in these shapes. How about, what is that letter? E. Do you see any right angles? Yeah, I see right angles. I see 4 of them, right? It's a square. So the only letter for number 10 is E. Okay, so perpendicular lines, E. Now, number 11, which blocks have neither parallel nor perpendicular lines? So neither, they can't have parallel or perpendicular. Well, we said A has parallel, so that's out. Does B have parallel or perpendicular? Do you see parallel lines or do you see lines that have a right angle? No, so B is 1, so put a B down for number 11. How about C? Does C have parallel lines or perpendicular? Yeah, I see parallel lines. How about D? Does D have parallel or perpendicular? It has parallel lines, right? And how about E? E has both. So the only answer that for number 11 for having neither perpendicular or parallel is B. Now, it has intersecting lines, right? They all have intersecting lines, okay? But when we talk about parallel or perpendicular, then you're getting into more depth there. All right, so let's go over intersecting, perpendicular, parallel. Intersecting, perpendicular, parallel. All right. Let's look at page 719. All right, the top says, look at the dashed lines, the dashed sides of the polygon. Tell if they appear to be intersecting, perpendicular, or parallel. Write all the words that describe the sides. All right, so you're only looking at the dotted sides. So for number 1, they only want you to look at these 2 lines right here, and they tell you they're parallel. For number 2, they only want you to look at this line and this line. And what would you call that? Are they parallel? No, because they're touching. Are they intersecting? Yes. And are they perpendicular? Yes, there's a 90 degree there. So number 2 is intersecting and perpendicular. Okay, look at number 3. They only want you to look at this line and this line, these 2 lines right here. Are they parallel? No, because they're touching. Are they perpendicular? No, I don't see a right angle. Are they intersecting? Yeah, so number 3 is just intersecting. All right, so I did the first 3 with you. Well, the first 2. The second and the third one, because the first one was done for you. You need to do numbers 4, 5, and 6, just like that. Intersecting, perpendicular, or parallel. Sometimes you might be writing perpendicular and intersecting, okay? And then number 7 and 8, use the shapes on the side there. You do not have to do number 9, so cross off number 9. And let's look at page 720. 720, you can do the top 2. Then we have polygons, name the polygon, right angles, line segments, fractions. You can do all of page 720. So I need a picture of 719 and a picture of 720. So have fun, guys. Bye.